Hello everyone, today we take a closer look at one of the most urgent and concerning topics in global politics right now, Moscow in crisis and the growing question of whether a military coup against President Vladimir Putin is looming. This story is not only about Russia's internal politics but also about the ripple effects that such a dramatic shift could send across the world. In order to make this complex subject easier to follow, we will break it down in a way that allows us to see the outer picture, the inner dynamics, the current performance of the Russian state, the safeguards that exist for its leadership, the unique factors that make this crisis stand out, the price that Russia and the world could pay, and finally a conclusion on where this might all lead. From the outside, Moscow looks uneasy. If you look at the images and reports coming from the Russian capital, you will notice a heavy military presence in certain areas. Government buildings, media headquarters, and even public spaces are under tighter security than usual. There are signs that the leadership feels the weight of potential threats, not just from outside but from within. Soldiers on the streets, police checkpoints, and visible attempts to project strength tell us that the Kremlin is aware of the fragility of the situation. This is the exterior that the world sees, and it already signals that something inside Russia's power structure may not be entirely stable. Inside, however, the picture is even more complicated. The Kremlin's inner circle has always been tight-knit, but reports suggest divisions are growing. Some key advisors remain loyal to Putin, while others are quietly voicing concerns about the future of his leadership. Military generals and intelligence chiefs, who once formed the backbone of Putin's rule, are now being watched closely for signs of dissent. The atmosphere behind closed doors is tense, cautious, and uncertain. Decisions are made carefully, words are measured, and trust is thinner than before. The interior world of Russian politics today feels less like an unbreakable fortress and more like a place where cracks are starting to form. When we think about performance, it becomes clear why these cracks are appearing. Russia's leadership has built its image on strength and resilience, but over the past few years, mounting challenges have tested that performance. International sanctions have deeply hurt the economy, restricting trade, weakening the ruble, and creating shortages in critical sectors. The ongoing war effort has drained resources and cost countless lives, while also drawing heavy criticism from parts of the population. Confidence in the system is not as solid as it once was. A state's performance can be measured by stability, growth, and public trust, and in all three areas Russia is showing signs of struggle. Even for a leader as seasoned as Putin, this performance is becoming difficult to defend, and that is why talk of a coup has gained traction. Despite this, there are still strong safety features in place. Putin's system was designed to protect him from challenges both internal and external. The intelligence services are loyal, heavily funded, and deeply embedded in Russian society. The media is tightly controlled, ensuring that most of the population only hears the state's version of events. Elite military units remain directly loyal to the president, and laws have been crafted to silence or punish dissent quickly. These safety features act like protective armor, shielding Putin's rule from sudden collapse. But just like any defense system, if pressure builds too much or if insiders decide to betray it, the armor can be pierced. History shows us that even the strongest regimes can fall apart if the safety features stop functioning as intended. What makes this situation unique is that Russia has always presented itself as unshakable. For decades, Putin's leadership has been compared to a carefully built machine, with every part designed to maintain control and order. Yet now, for the first time in years, we are seeing the possibility that this machine could fail. The idea of a coup inside Russia is extraordinary because it challenges the myth of absolute power that has been cultivated for so long. If a coup were to happen, it would not just change Russia, it would reshape global politics, disrupt alliances, and create uncertainty in energy markets. The unique factor here is not only the risk of change, but the scale of impact such change would bring. Few nations have the geopolitical weight of Russia, and any internal shift there will echo worldwide. Of course, there is always a price. For Russia itself, the price of this crisis is already being felt in the economy. Ordinary citizens are struggling with higher prices, reduced incomes, and fewer opportunities. Businesses face difficulty importing goods, industries are cutting back, and the younger generation is questioning their future. The political price could be even higher. A coup or even the threat of one risks creating instability, divisions within the military, and possible violence in the streets. For the world, the price is also steep. Energy supplies could be disrupted, causing higher prices globally. Security tensions could rise in Europe and beyond, as countries prepare for unpredictable changes in Russian foreign policy. Diplomatic relationships, already fragile, could break down further. The price of Moscow's crisis is not one nation's burden alone, it is a cost that will be shared worldwide. In conclusion, Moscow today feels like a city standing on the edge of history. The visible tension on its streets reflects the invisible struggles inside the Kremlin's walls. The performance of the Russian state is under strain, even as safety features try to hold everything together. The uniqueness of this moment lies in the possibility of something once unthinkable, a coup against one of the most powerful and entrenched leaders in the world. The price of this crisis is already high, and it may rise even further if events take a dramatic turn. Whether Putin tightens his grip or whether challengers succeed in breaking his hold, one thing is certain, the world is watching closely, and the outcome will shape the future of global politics for years to come. Thank you for joining me in this deep dive into the unfolding situation in Moscow. If you found this analysis helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss updates on this and other major global events. Stay tuned, because the story of Moscow's crisis is far from over.